Let's be honest, there is a big difference between just doing hair color and truly understanding it. If you've ever had a client sit in your chair and say, I want to go blonde, but you have no idea where you're starting at or how far you could safely take them, this video is for you. Today, we are diving into the foundation of hair color levels, what they mean, how to identify them correctly, and how to use this knowledge to create predictable, flawless results every single time. Let's get into it. What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Alan. I'm a New York-based hair artist, and I am kind of obsessed with hair color, okay? AKA Finesse by Alan on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And today we are going over hair color levels, what they are, what they mean, how to identify them correctly, and how to approach color formulation based off level. Hair color levels are basically a universal language for us as hairstylists. They tell us the depth of the hair, not necessarily the tone of the hair. And we'll get into that in a sec, okay? This video is going to go over how to identify the levels of hair and how the tone can actually impact our eye. The level system starts at level 1, and that is basically like jet black hair, all the way up to a level 10, which is basically the lightest platinum, icy wifey haters want to fight me type of blonde that you could get. And filling in the blanks between 1 and 10, 2 is a little bit lighter, almost like a soft black. Levels 3 and 4 are a super dark brown as well. These are for the girlies that like to be super dark, but maybe don't want to be as harsh. They're a little bit softer than the 1s and the 2s. And as we get to level 5, this is when you're starting to enter the dark to medium brown stage. Like I said in past videos, I work with Goldwell a lot, and Goldwell tends to be a little bit darker than a company like Redken. So Goldwell's 5 is going to look a lot darker than Redken's 5, for example. And since I'm working with Goldwell, I'm going to go based off of their level system, but just know that with other companies, it's going to look a little bit different. So if you're not using Goldwell, don't use Goldwell's level system, but this is what I use, so I'm just going to talk about it. And when you're working with these colors, I tend to see a big difference between a Goldwell 5 and a Goldwell 6. This is when you're starting to enter the lighter brown phases of everything, but honestly, levels like 2 through 4, very similar. So level 6 obviously looks a little bit lighter than level 5. Level 7 is a little bit lighter than that. That's kind of your chestnut area. Level 8 is around your darker blonde stage. This is where you're going to find a lot of clients that are looking to be in between brunette and blonde, kind of your bronze moment. And then last but not least, filling in the blanks, level 9 is your light blonde, but obviously not platinum because that's going to be your level 10. Think of these levels like the foundation of your formula. If you don't know where your starting point is, you don't know exactly how to get to your destination correctly. So when you are starting a color formulation, there are 3 important things to keep in mind. The client's natural level, which is how their roots are growing directly out of their scalp without any alteration. The existing level of any colored hair and what you are trying to achieve. And then the target level, which is where the heck are we trying to end up here? So finding their natural level is a lot easier than you think. Obviously, as you gain some experience as a hairstylist, it's going to be super easy to just look at somebody's hair and be like, oh, their natural level is a 5, or oh, their natural level is a 6. But if you're not there yet, and that is totally okay, I know a lot of you guys on here are beginners, what you can do when you are working with a certain company, they all come with swatches. Otherwise, how else are we going to visualize what colors we're using in order to suit our clients' needs? So what you could do as a hairstylist is bring the swatch book out. Some people are embarrassed by this, but I feel like you got to do what you got to do, and you got to make sure your client's hair is correct. So I wouldn't even fret it. But you could take that swatch, put it directly up to their roots, and figure out exactly where you're at. If you're having some trouble, maybe they are super red, maybe they're super golden, maybe they're super ashy. Sometimes tones can play a trick on our eyes. So a little trick to counteract this is you could take a picture of their hair with your phone and then put it in black and white. And that's going to take out the tones, that's going to take out everything, so you are looking at exactly what is matching the swatch book. And I can't tell you how many times, especially starting out, that trick has saved me from a hair disaster. Because sometimes, especially while your eye is developing, you could probably second guess yourself a little bit too much, or maybe somebody's in between and you don't really know how to make that work. But using this trick will definitely help you guys out and make sure that you are nailing that formula every single time, period. It's simple, but it's effective, and it's going to make your life so much easier. But now, levels alone don't give you the full picture of the look. The undertones are going to play a massive role in your formulation as well. Each level has a natural undertone that comes to the surface as you lift it. Obviously, going back to my color theory video, we went over all the undertones and all the underlying pigments that came in using the hair chart. Levels 1 through 4 are basically a red undertone. 5 and 6 are basically like a red-orange undertone. Level 7 and 8 is when you're in the yellow-orange stage, and then 9 and 10 are when you're in that yellow and super pale yellow stage as well. So as a stylist, you have to anticipate what you're going to see before it shows up in the bowl. I'm going to link the color theory video right up here so you could watch it and understand color formulation and color theory like a pro that much more. hair, but we're going to do a little quick rundown. In the dark brown family, we are met with red undertones, and those are canceled out using a green-based formula. Going a little lighter, we are met with an orange undertone, which is neutralized by blue. And then going all the way up to blonde, we are met with a yellow underlying pigment, so we are going to neutralize that using a violet, which are their complementary colors. And if we look on the color wheel right over here, they are direct opposites on the color wheel. Green is opposite red, blue is opposite orange, purple is opposite yellow, and that is how we get to the center of the color wheel to neutralize everything. But now if you are formulating for a single process which lifts and deposits at the same time, depending on their level of gray, the natural alone can turn warm. So it could turn red, it could turn orange, it could turn yellow. So in order to counteract that and to make your formula stay looking a little bit more natural for longer, throw in a little cool tone in there just to counteract it a little bit to make sure that it doesn't oxidize any types of crazy for your clients. But going into lifting and depositing, when you are lifting out color, you are taking out their natural or artificial pigment, so you're going to have to anticipate a lot of brass coming through as well. Just about everybody has a natural underlying warm pigment, and when you are lifting somebody out or highlighting them or balayaging them, those warm tones are really going to come to the surface and try to fight y'all with a vengeance. So you're going to have to anticipate counteracting a lot of brass. And when you are depositing color, you are essentially adding those pigments back in. Cool, warm, natural, whatever it is, you are putting those pigments back into the hair versus lifting them out. But Alan, why does this matter? I am so glad that you asked. When you're lifting out hair, you have to anticipate unwanted brass, some super warm tones, and also taking the hair integrity into account to make sure that it's staying nice, strong, and healthy and not on the floor. Because we're trying to make sure that none of our clients' hair melts off on this YouTube channel, okay? But now on the flip side of things, when you are depositing color, you are focusing on tonal balance, making sure that all that unwanted brass is gone, and focusing on saturation to make sure that the color you apply is nice, clean, and even. But no matter who you are or how many years of experience you have under your belt, there are some mistakes from time to time. So here are some common mistakes and how to make sure that you can avoid them at all costs. The first mistake is just simply guessing the client's level. Y'all know what happens when you assume, right? So to avoid this while your eye is developing and you're confident in where you're at, make sure to always take the swatch book and put it directly against your client's scalp to make sure that you are putting the correct formula on their scalp every single time. Otherwise, the formula will go off target and then you're not hitting the mark for your client. Number two, underestimating underlying pigment, which could lead to excess warmth and just overall looking a little bit more brassy than the client would want. So make sure that you're factoring undertones in every single time you're formulating a client's color. And number three, overlightening in just one session. Yes, sometimes things happen. There could be a chemical reaction or their hair just simply cannot take lightening. But all of that aside, make sure to come up with a realistic game plan to make sure that your client's hair integrity is exactly where it should be and their hair is staying healthy and cute while this process is going on. And you could also add a bond protector in your lightener as well. I love the Olaplex bond protector. I have personally not used K18, but I know that they're taking over the world right now. But I have pretty much seen almost everything behind the chair. I've seen chemical reactions. I've seen hair that lifts way too fast. But using something like Olaplex's bond protector in your lightener will help make sure that the hair integrity stays cute. But on the flip side, it's also going to slow your processing down a little bit. So also take that time into account when you're booking your clients. And obviously it's not going to protect from everything. So still make sure to take the other steps into account, but it's just going to be like a little extra cushion for you guys and for their hair as well. So just to recap all of this and to put this simply, the levels are going to tell us the depth of the hair from jet black to super light blonde, levels 1 through level 10. Undertones are pretty much going to tell us how the hair is going to lift, what to anticipate, and how we could counteract all of that. And accurate level matching is the key to perfect color formulations every single time. When you master these foundations, you're going to see that your color problems are going to fade away and you're going to be creating stunning, predictable results with every single color formulation that you create. Don't get me wrong, when I was starting out, I loved hair color and I always have loved hair color, but understanding the systems, the level system, the undertones, and everything else in between can be a little overwhelming and intimidating. But using all the tips in this video will make sure that you guys are nailing color formulation every single time. And before you know it, you're going to be knowing color like the back of your hand. But I think that covers everything. I think I've said everything I want to say about understanding color levels. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to like it, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment down below with your thoughts. Or if you hated this video, also feel free to like it, drop a comment down below with your thoughts, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And ring the bell icon to make sure that you're staying up to date with all the things I'm putting out, because I got even more coming your guys' way. And also, thank you guys so much for checking this video out. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. But until then, I'm out of here. Peace out.